Grand Rising and good morning, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Zestful Living with Sweet Tea Morning Show. Now, this is where we rise and shine and we start our day on purpose, with purpose, and for the purpose of having an attitude of gratitude. I am your host, Latanja Millhouse, aka Sweet Tea, your number one hype woman, certified life coach, health coach, and your biggest reminder that today is another chance to live boldly, zestfully, and unapologetically you. The question is, can you feel it? Do you know it? Can you see it? It's a brand new day. Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day? It's a brand new day, and clearly an opportunity to begin your day in a zestful way, to begin your day with a positive attitude as we prepare for the gratitude journal. Stay tuned because I will have my journals for you. That way you'll have something to write in from your girl, Sweet Tea. So be patient with me. I appreciate you all rocking with me thus far as I have begun this show a year ago in January 2025. And so we're grateful for it all as my dear daughter had suggested that I start Zestful Living with Sweet Tea Morning Show. And so here we are going strong. And so I would want this to be something that you can do for yourself. Start a routine, do a gratitude journal in the early part of your day to begin your day full of vigor and bliss and joy so that you can have a good day on purpose. That's what we advocate here, having a good day on purpose. Good day, Dad. Grand Rising and good morning. Thank you so much for being here. My dear Dad is watching in on a Pacific time, which is 5 a.m. there in Cali. And so he shows up each and every day to support me. Be sure that you join us on Fridays, Dad and I, that we have a full hour of hot topics for Fridays. However, today we will be looking at how Mondays are going to go from here on out. As our Osha Cerese joins me, my daughter, she will be joining here really soon. Let's go ahead and look at the gratitude journal prompt for today. And so fill in the blank. I am grateful for blank because it showed me that I blank. So let's go ahead and fill in the blanks if you have something to write in, or if you don't, you can call to mind what you would want to say about that. I am grateful for because it showed me that I. Okay. Okay. And maybe I should share what I have said. So I am grateful for my kindness because it showed me that I am intentional about being in alignment with grace. And so that's something that we can all be reminded about how you show up in life in terms of who it is that you are representing, in terms of you are representing yourself in any situation that you may be in, whether that's going to work, whether that's in a position of being your own boss, as many people are nowadays in the entrepreneurial world. Hey, and good morning to you. I am doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is that at Matt Dabu 10? Thank you so much. Where are you viewing from? Where is your location? Welcome to everyone there in the TikTok land. I see Rowdy has joined us. Anna, thank you all so much for being here, taking time out of your busy day. And for those that watch the replay on the Facebook, thank you all so much for tuning in when you can. Because again, the hours and time zones are always a reason that people aren't actually able to be here on the live set. And as I say that on Mondays we are doing something different as Osha Cerese joins us here on our Monday viewing. Welcome, 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 Osha Cerese. How are you today?
Well, thank you, Grandmas, and I'm doing wonderful.
You're doing wonderful. It's good to see you as we are here bright and early, ready to get our day started. And perhaps it's something that we can do as to recap a little bit about some of the things that we have done and what we inspired to do and be in life, as this has been a complete week, as it is something that you can be grateful for, something that perhaps you can be mindful about. I don't necessarily like to say week because some of these terms have different meanings. A week of strength. I still said week. The strength of it all. And so I would like for you to go first in terms of anything that you want to recap about things you've been working on or how everything is going for you right now.
Ooh, what have I been working on?
I know.
Well, my main goal that I've been working towards is being consistent on my YouTube channel. Greetings to my YouTube channel over here. I set a goal to be consistent in the month of June and beyond, but with specifically with posting long form content. So over on YouTube, long form content is longer than 3 minutes. So every day, I have a different theme or a different topic, and so far I've posted every day in the month of June.
Congratulations! You're sticking with your goal and some of the things that you're intentional about doing, and so you show up for yourself. And so something that, of course, I had been working on, of course, is some of my designs in the House of Johnnie Ruth. I'm so proud of myself as I've been talking all night about how I am so elated about the models that were in my line with the House of Johnnie Ruth and how they showed themselves in terms of the grace and elegance that they performed at the show, and the entire staff of TLA, the Lingale Agency, for helping us to be able to have a successful viewing of our designs. And so I'm just so filled with joy and appreciation for it all. And so some of the things that I am proud of myself for is sticking with it, staying the course, making sure that it's complete because everyone knows the time and the days prior and how much it was that I overcame in terms of how things were beginning to test.
Girl, what is the sentence? Because I'm not following.
You're not following. It was because my will was being tested in terms of how I was going to stay committed and confident through it all. Because again, it was tough on me. Yes. Because again, I worked day and night. Because again, before the day became June 7th, I was up way up in the early morning hours, completing all of the sewing and all of the detailing of all of the garments. I put my heart, blood, tears, and soul into this particular line because it means a great deal to me, as the name is the House of Johnnie Ruth, representing my paternal grandmother, and of course everything that comes about. And so again, it was a success.
Well, let me slow you down because you are, on a roll. Okay. But I wanted to give you your flowers because I am very proud of you too.
Thank you.
I have been witnessing the blood, sweat, and tears, and the heart, soul, and spirit, and effort, energy, time, money that has been poured into your goddess collection of the House of Johnnie Ruth, and everybody that has supported, and just the way it has come together. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely stunning. It came together beautifully. And you did that, honey.
Well, thank you.
So be proud of yourself, as you said you already are, but like round of applause because you definitely did that. It was such a beautiful collection. It was nice. It was just to witness it.
Wow.
Like, because I've seen it from inception to, seeing you sketching and seeing you trying to figure out which fabrics you're going to use to, cutting and getting some support from Mel with the cutting and the stitching, and just, it's been a long road. It's been a lot of it's been a long journey as far as getting it together. So people don't get to see that part. They only get to see how beautiful it looks coming down the runway, but they don't get to see the behind the scenes. So anybody that was able to witness what you created yesterday, just know that it was so much love and intention and effort and energy put into that collection, and that's why it was so beautiful. The models did an amazing
They did
job,
an amazing job.
and you did an amazing job styling each model.
Well, thank you, Osha.
And just getting everybody together. It came together so beautifully.
It did, and I want to thank you for your patience and the way that you conceptualized the vision for the kimono as it was turned into a kimono. And it was your vision that also helped to be able to know how everything was looking for all of the models. And so you had a keen eye and your fashion style, and that's why you were part of the House of Johnnie Ruth. And I want to thank Fashion Taxi, Miss Mel, for all of her time and dedication. She came all the way from where she resided on the other side of Atlanta to be certain that things were kept well when it came to cutting the kimono and Asha's vision and the sewing. So we are a team, and so it took all of us, as well as Dad being here on the line, as he motivated me, constantly consoled me, and had been there in full support of making sure that everything would be a success. And so I can let it be and put it down here on the table as we begin to do our show today. And speaking of table, wait a minute, speaking of table, the family will be back for the
I don't even know what you're saying.
Table Talk Thursday. I couldn't even remember. Table Talk Thursdays. We put it all on the table.
Okay.
So whenever I mention anything about a table, I have to give my props to the family podcast, Table Talk Thursday, where we put it all on the table for you all. Stay tuned for that. It will be coming soon.
I was going to say, before you skate past the House of Johnnie Ruth, how do you feel as far as how everything went? Is there any recap of the show that you want to share with the audience?
I felt that I wanted to make certain that the ladies were all ready and prepared for the runway, as it is daunting. A few of them, it was their first time. So we want to be in the mindset of knowing that we're prepared as we go down the runway. And of course, I could have been a little bit more prepared as I did show up on the runway. And of course, I'm also proud of the fact that I showed up.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Well, I don't necessarily, I mean, it was just a matter of me making certain that I had all of what I was going to wear in place. And it appeared that what I was wearing was not completely finished being put on, but at the same time, the show must go on. So we're prepared and ready for the show to go on. And that's what I did. I showed up because, again, it's about the models. And the designer usually comes out, greets and bows, and move along.
So you had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction because of time when you have to be prepared to, get on the runway.
You get on the runway at the time that your time is allotted for, and you show up, you're prepared, you're ready, and the show must go on. And so I appeared and showed up, and in the style that I wanted to. Perhaps it was a little challenging to be able to wear something that needed a lot of great pieces put together. But again, I showed up because these are my designs, and that's what I'm there to represent, the models that modeled with the House of Johnnie Ruth. And so that's what I was prepared to do.
Yeah, did good. And the first theme was really good. It was a Jersey theme when you all came out to show your numbers. How did you feel about that?
I felt really good, and I want to actually give all of the congratulations to all of us that showed our numbers, because that's something that we do in the opening of the show. During the annual shows, we showcase how we want to display our ages. And this year we had the jerseys. And so that's what we did. And I represented my jersey, as it is my nephew from the Hurricanes. And so I just wanted to make certain that I plugged him in and what that represented for me. It means a great deal when it comes from family, that you can represent them and yourself, as I did have a lot of guests that drove in from Alabama to come in and visit. And I want to give them a shout out. Of course, my family that showed up for me in support. It just feels good. I feel overjoyed. I could probably and more likely be talking about this for about
That's
another,
what we're here to do.
because
We're
we're
doing
doing
a
a
recap.
recap because again, it was just amazing
Talk about it.
to
Who,
be
who
able
showed
to
up?
who showed up. My auntie Angela, it was her birthday. June 7th was her birthday, and she enjoyed herself. And thank you, Auntie Angela, for showing up. My auntie Tony, and these are my aunts, my mother's younger sisters that have always have been in my life ever since I was a baby. That they have taken care of me, as my auntie Tony used to use the straightening comb to get us ready for some Easter presentation. Okay, watch the ears. Okay, she said, hold the ears. And she would comb our hair as we were all close in age, but she still is a notable, devoted aunt. And my auntie Angela has been there in support of me every step of the way. And I am elated and happy and thankful that she showed up there. My cousin Rosalind Taylor was there, as she has always been in support of me. We grew up together, we're family. Her daughter Ashley Taylor was there. She's such a joy and a delight to see her as her mother's mini me. They look just alike. She's such a wonderful young lady. And my cousin Isha House has always been in support of me. My aunt T. Jean's daughter, Isha and Renee. And so we all grew up together. We're very close. And of course, my brother Ira Millhouse, aka Buck, he was there. He showed up for his sister. And we're all in a great amount of gratitude. And of course, Angel, she was there, and I appreciate her being there as well, as they all drove in from Birmingham, Alabama. They had work the next morning, so everyone had to be up and everything. And so it's always good to see family supporting you in some of the things you do, because again, the House of Johnnie Ruth, as I take a breath.
Hello.
The House of Johnnie Ruth represents my paternal grandmother, whose name is Johnny Millhouse, and both my maternal grandmother and mother have the middle name of Ruth. Mrs. Mamie Ruth Murray Gordon and Mrs. Linda Ruth Murray Millhouse. And so that means a lot to me because I'm representing them, which comes about with grace and style and elegance, confidence. You know, you can go on and on about what it encompasses, but the main thing about it is that faith base, the resilience, and always doing your best in how you present yourself in life, how you represent yourself. They always represented themselves with class and grace. And so I hope I
as
give them
do
some
you,
honor.
as do you, and your line. What was the inspiration behind the goddess theme this season?
This season, the goddess thing, because again, I hear queens, I hear divas, I hear the bad bees, I hear all of these different names. But a goddess is represented in a universal way as the top tier of who Black women are. Okay, and so I wanted to actually hone in on us as a people and who we are in the sphere of all of the ways that we show up for our families, all of the ways in which we show up with resilience under grace under fire. That's what it reminds me of. And these particular models have grace, style, confidence, elegance. They were magnificent, as I would call them individually and thank them, as I have already made known how much I appreciate them in our group chat. But yes, the goddess themes represents who we are, going back to the original idea of who we are there on the Nile River, as all of the ways that Michael Jackson, Remember the Time, it reminds me of that theme. Remember the Time has a lot of more meaning as he depicts all of the Egyptian goddesses there, Cleopatra, and some of the ways that you show up as a Nefertiti, and some of the Greek goddesses' themes that were worn with the teal. And so even the Japanese kimono in their own way are goddesses. And so it was a collection that was all about recognizing each particular goddess, the sun goddess, and all of the ways, and garden goddess that we showed up to represent ourselves. And so I'm overjoyed about how it turned out. And thank you so much, Asha, for highlighting this with me.
Absolutely, you deserve it. And all that hard work, honey, you better talk about it.
Yes, everything was
Yes.
very nice. And once again, I want to thank the TLA, the Lindale Agency, for doing this. As this was one for the books, the 14th annual Ageless Fashion Show. Ageless beauty is not an age, it's an attitude. And so everyone displayed that in terms of 70s, 60s, 50s, up to about ages. And so as I came out there displaying my football with my jersey with the number 59. Can you believe that? 59.
Mm-hmm. And I think
so.
What is this? What your fourth show?
This was my fourth show.
With TLA.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to highlight also that every year Mama challenges herself to do something creative. Mm-hmm. So it's not like she doesn't just show up and model. She really challenges herself every year. So the first year, I believe, was the year that you created the top hat that had your age, your numbers at the top.
Yes.
You were 56.
56.
And that was very creative and innovative. And you also designed your tutu that you wore that year from scratch.
Yeah.
And then, did you do anything else design wise that year?
For the 56.
Was that the year that you created the pants for the suit, or was that the following year?
I believe that was the
same
year. The same year, because we had the jacket, the mail from the Fashion Taxi, the Janice Wilburn of the Wilburn Sisters Designs. All of these experts were there helping me to be able to guide me along the way, as that helps you to build the confidence. It takes a great deal of confidence to rip open the seam ripper and to be able to start over to make sure you're having the quality. And that's why I was up in the wee hours of the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. My niece says that it's time for you to get some rest, TT.
And then the following year, you did the 57 with your sleeves. So you raised your arms, and the number 57 was on the sleeves.
And that was your conception. How she comes up with these. She has a vision for things that we have to do, lace and leather. And my sister provided the chaps that I purchased from her with her line, which is of course the dream chasers that she does, as well as
the actual thrifting.
Yes, it was
lost treasures.
Lost treasures found, and so I was losing words in terms of being able to remember. Lost treasure finds came through, so there's a great deal of people that collaborate with you. The main thing of any of it all, when you're showing up, as I had shared this, that you are a model made of divine energy and love. So you set yourself on that, and as it is, you are a lady. Learning awareness delivers you. And so to stay grounded in those kind of concepts in terms of just having the confidence. And I think the confidence was testing me as I wanted to try to thread that needle. I think I stayed up about 4 hours trying to put the thread inside of that little needle. And as I challenged myself, I said, what you're not going to do is make me give up. And I kept trying to do it. And after a while, I said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and sew it by hand.
You made it happen.
To make sure that everything was
And
complete.
then, after year 50, after her 57, are you able to receive recognition? Because you keep changing the subject. Okay. Have y'all noticed that?
Okay.
As I'm trying to pour into her. For all the things that she's done, she keep rerouting.
Okay.
Then the following year, you did a 4-piece collection for the House of Johnnie Ruth.
Oh, the next year with the 58.
Yes. So 58, what was the theme for the numbers? You created the 58, it was carnival. Oh, so you'd have a 5 in the front and then the 8 in the back of the dress. The dress was actually designed as a 5 and an 8.
And once again, Asha conceptualized that idea, and Mrs. Mel with the Fashion Taxi helped to bring it into fruition as I embellished it with the jewels.
And then she did 5. It was a 4-piece collection, but she did 5 pieces because one she was wearing. And that was the debut of the House of Johnnie Ruth last year.
What was I wearing?
You had the purple dress with the.
Oh, sure did. And then once again, Asha came up with the idea of using the yarn, because in terms of some of the drawings, It was purple and it had the mermaid look, and we created, as Asha did, all of the colors with the yarn. So it took a lot of time and details. So I see your point. There's gradual progression in everything that I'm doing.
So she said last year she had pencil skirts, high collared white shirt blouses, I should say, and she had these beautiful, unique couture hats that she created from scratch. And what else was who else wore something? You had pencil skirts. Did somebody have a dress last year?
Some know that they have the fuchsia. She wore a fuchsia brassiere with a fur shawl.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was the shawl
yeah,
that was made.
yeah.
So
And then so it was the purple dress. It was like a purplish blue, like
it was
a indigo type.
yes, it was
dress
definitely like a royal blue
with the like fur type collar.
Right.
Yeah.
So the drawings came to life.
Yeah.
And again, once again, Fashion Taxi is someone that you can rely upon showing up for you.
And this year, she elevated from the 4-piece collection from last year to an 8-piece collection, which she did 9 pieces because she wore one, and then there was 8 pieces, 7 ripped the runway, and then the host was wearing her couture kimono.
Thank you, Osha.
Look at the progression over the 4 years that you've been with TLA so far. You've challenged yourself each year, and each year the challenge has gotten greater and greater, and you've met the challenge. You stepped up to the plate each time, and you've done it. High five.
I showed up to the plate, and that is a testament about someone as you saw the struggle, as you saw the dedication. I'm just saying it was a journey. Thank you so much for pouring into me. I will receive it.
Yes, you have challenged yourself. You've increased the challenge. So I don't know. Next year she might dress the whole, all the models. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's beautiful to see. And I've always told you that, like, you challenge yourself every year, even if it's stressful and it's just burning the midnight oil, as you said. There's been lots of, I wouldn't say sleepless nights, but basically because she's not going to sleep until the wee hours of the rising up all night with that sewing machine, figuring things out. If the sewing machine ain't working out, hand sewing, cutting, stitching, gluing, drawing, just a lot of time and energy poured into these beautiful collections, or even if she's not designing, she's creating something for herself to wear. And it's beautiful to see you challenge yourself and not be afraid to try it, even if it's difficult or challenging to meet the challenge. You get it done every time.
Isn't that amazing?
And it always looks amazing. It looks great.
Thank you so much. Now, Asha, I receive it. I appreciate you very much. As we prepare for hot topics, you want to go into some hot topics now?
Sure. How do you feel?
I feel overjoyed, and it's almost as if, what do you do now with all of your time?
First, but relax for a few days.
Get some rest.
Let's see.
And this is where we're asking you to let your comments be known in the comment section. And thank you, Dad, for staying the course with me during all of this production, as you have motivated me and supported me and let me knew that everything was going to work out. And it's when the runway comes about that you will be able to see your designs come down the runway. When I tell you, because again, I was busy doing the things and getting everyone prepared. When I saw all of the beautiful models wearing all of the garments that were created and visualized with Asha and I and Mrs. Mill with the Fashion Taxi come to life, they looked so beautiful, so elegant, and they were calm, poised, confident, and they embodied what the House of Johnnie Ruth is all about. I am so very overjoyed and appreciative for you, Dad, making certain that your daughter had everything that I needed. You kept me up, you kept me strong, and you kept me with the confidence in the faith aspect of how the good Lord will always be there for me. And so, did you have a question?
What does a healthy marriage actually look like in 2026? And is the model we grew up with still working?
The model that we grew up with in terms of a traditional family example of the mother being there for her family as she stayed at home and did all of the housework, maintained the children when it came to preparing them for school, make sure that they had everything that they needed, their nourishment, and of course, teaching them right from wrong. As many parents now, as I'm noticing on social media, a lot of the wives are stirring their food. They're smiling as they're preparing their food because they're enjoying being a stay-at-home mom. Because again, the father is out working to become a provider. The husband, he's becoming the breadwinner of the family. And so I believe all of these are coming back as the question is alluding to. What does a healthy marriage actually look like in 2026, and is the model we grew up with still working? Yes, a healthy marriage looks like a combination of people working together.
I would say a healthy marriage looks like what the two people in the marriage want it to be. I think that traditional is beautiful as far as the man being the provider and the protector, the woman being the nurturer and the homemaker. That's a beautiful dynamic. I'm not opposed to it at all, but that's not for everybody. So I think that a healthy marriage looks like what the two people collectively have decided on, right, agreed upon, um, and maintain whatever agreement that they have with each other. Like if it's she's the breadwinner because she has a business, or she's a six figure plus earner, and maybe he's the stay at home dad. I've seen that dynamic work where the dad is homeschooling and he's taking the kids to school and he's taking care of all the day to day tasks. And for them, that works.
It does.
There are some couples that decide they want to open their marriage and they're giving each other the freedom to be with whoever they want to be outside, be with outside of the marriage, as long as they have the foundation of home. And that's not necessarily what was traditionally shown to us growing up, but we did see marriages where the papa had a family around the corner, right? And mama knew about it and just dealt with it and didn't say nothing. But now, the chick might say, "Do you?" and be fine with it. There's polygamous and polyamory and all these different terms of having multiple partners, and that works for some people too. There are some marriages that they decide they want to live in different households and even different states, at this point.
Right.
Some want to live in or sleep in different rooms, and I'm not opposed to the different rooms because, right, of course, I would want to spend the night in each other's room and bed and cuddle and all those things. But there might be some times where I don't want to be up under you. I just want to roll around and be in my own energy. Right. I would definitely need, how the men have a man cave. Right. I would, at the very least, I need a space where I can create, where I can go be. If I fall asleep, have a nap, watch a movie, do whatever I want to do without you all in my way. But I think that's the key to a healthy marriage is the agreement between the two parties that are married and making sure that they uphold whatever agreements they've made with each other. That's what the healthy marriage looks like, and not allowing other people's opinions or pressure to dictate how they run their own marriage.
I believe so, and I talk about that here on the show. No one has a blueprint on what is a successful marriage and what does it look like. It's going to be unique to you. It's going to be different for you, and whatever, and I agree with you, Osha, whatever the two of you agree on is how that marriage is going to last. And of course, the healthy part of it is being on the same page with one another on how you want to live your life in your own marriage. Okay.
Let's see. How has growing up in a two-parent household or not shaped what you expect and accept in love?
Well, I believe that growing up in a two-parent household helps you to be able to see the couples, as it is man and woman, and how they represent one another and how they are doing things together when it comes to being able to have a clear insight on how all of this works, because you don't know what's actually going on in relationships as a child. You may see some things, as my dad that's here on the line had entered into my sisters and our lives when I was 7, my sister was 9. And so just to see the interaction between he and my mother, they always made sure that we had everything that we needed. We did not want for anything. We were enjoying ourselves as my little brother was born, and we were all a close knit family when it came to the unity of seeing them together, laughing and playing and making sure that we had what we needed. It wasn't just all just fun without the responsibility of what the children need. And so I get to see them in the dynamic together as my biological father and mother made sure that we had what we needed. Because I remember my father, when we were in California, someone stole our bikes and he had to replace them 3 different times.
Oh my goodness.
And so he would take us to the track and everything like that. They co-parented more so than they were together as a full married couple, but again, they co-parented. So there was times that we were with our biological father, but there's nothing wrong with having someone that comes into your life, as Dad says, that it's a package deal. And he can talk more about that on Fridays when we go into different topics. But it was really something that you got to see the balance. It's one thing to know the dynamics between a man and a woman, but to actually see that at work, as I grew up with both of sets of my grandparents who stayed together, and I got to see that dynamic. And most of the time back then, the papas and the grandpapas stayed quiet. And it seemed as if the grandmothers were the ones, as Dad would tell you, that ran the households and had more of a voice, because my paternal grandfather was a meek man.
That's why people be like, we going to grandma's house, even when grandpa lived there too. Because so grandma running.
She running because she was short and she was way taller and bigger, but that didn't mean that he was not the man of the house. He just had a soft way of moving about, not a lot of fussing. And my biological father said that he was so embarrassed and bashful that he knew the answer in class, but he did not raise his hand. He was shy and bashful. So when he told me to have a voice in the crowd, I think I'm doing pretty good speaking up.
Oh, because you was the kid that I did my homework.
I did mine, sweetie. What you're not going to do is have me hold all this information, as I shared with you all, that the day before, it was a Thursday, and I talk about this a lot. We were given an assignment to recite the Constitution of the United States. I went home, I prepared, I recited it over and over, because that's how you remember things. You write it down. And as you're writing, that memory of that is embedded in you. And so I looked in the mirror, I rehearsed. And so the very next day, she gave us the assignment Thursday. The next day, that Friday, she asked the entire class, who's ready and prepared to recite the Constitution of the United States? And everyone looked out. No one did that. Let's go ahead and wait till Monday. No one is ready.
Pencil.
Okay, no one is ready, teacher. Let's do it Monday. I raised my hand. I'm ready. And I went up there to the class. She says, come on up here, Latanja. I think it was the 9th grade. Glenn High School in Birmingham, Alabama. And I started to recite mine as all of the students came up closer to want to see if I was going to trip up, just want to see perhaps, did I really know it? And perhaps they were admiring the fact that I was the only one. Can I say that again? I was the only one in the entire class. It means a lot. That talks about the character. We the people, in order to perform a more perfect union. And so she heard me saying that, and I said enough to where she believed that I studied. And she says, you know what, I have to go somewhere really quick. Latanja, could you mind over the class until I get back? And so in my mind, I was like, how you like me now?
Oh,
but then again, it was just one of those things that I could recognize, because again, it's building character.
Yeah.
Who knew that I would be able to raise my hand as my father was bashful? Who knew that I would have a voice in the crowd, as I'm still talking to this day? And my dear dad that's on the line would say, treat people how you want to be treated. And so I've always have been that way, someone that is meek, that has grace, that is bold. As my mother, gave tribute to her. That's why I wore the red at my presentation when I walked the runway as the designer, because I talk about the little red hen. As my mother, that was one of her favorite books. Mm-hmm. Who's gonna be there as they saw the little red hen carrying all of the wheat up the hill, and she asked, could someone help me, and things of that nature. And she had the tenacity, the resilience to keep going and going and going. And as that bread started cooking, and all of the smells went out through the neighborhood, as she asked each and every way that she was going up the hill with all of the wheat and pushing the barrel and all of that, and no one showed up in terms of wanting to help her, whether they were busy or whatever the case. And as the bread baked and it was done and prepared, they smelled it all over the farm, and their mouths was salivating because they could taste the bread. And as it got finished being baked, they wanted it. She says that you're not getting a damn thing. You did not help me. You saw me struggling up that hill, loading up all of the wheat and all of the ingredients to prepare this particular bread. And I asked you along the way to help me. I asked you to look out for me. I reached out to you and wanted your support, but you didn't do it. So she said when that bread got done and all of them wanted, can we have some of your bread? Hell no. No, excuse me. She just said no.
She said they wasn't with her shooting in the gym.
she didn't share with them.
Okay, cool. I agree, honey. Keep it to yourself. So I would say growing up in a two-parent household, definitely like what you said, you get to see the dynamics of a couple, seeing you and my father. I saw you all just in daily life. Like everything is not always fun and dandy, but you all used to dress up on Friday nights. My dad would wear his suits. You would wear your beautiful dresses. I would see you. I would sit and admire you as you were getting dressed. And I like that you all used to have your basically date night, going out and enjoying yourselves on Friday nights. Seeing you all work together to get me back and forth to school throughout the week and make sure that my assignments and projects and everything was taken care of. Seeing the challenges that you had to face and overcome, seeing the conflict, and how you had to resolve, and family dynamics outside of the house and how that was handled. So you literally get a first row seat into navigating through the ups and downs of a relationship. So I think that as far as how has it shaped me on what to accept and expect and accept in love, um, it allowed me to see that the reality of a relationship, that it's not just a fairy tale, but it also, I saw you all be affectionate with each other, hug and kiss and dance and laugh together and eat and cook together. And, you see how you have to put in work to have a connection and have intimacy and love in the household. And also, how to navigate through challenges as well. So I think it gives me a realistic expectation, or I don't really have expectations, but realistic standards when it comes to, you know, the ups and downs of a relationship. Um, I can take certain things that I like and take certain things that I didn't like, and just know that maybe as a younger lady, I might have accepted certain things based on, your father is your first example of a man. So there may have been some mirrored images there when it comes to the men that I chose in my younger years, but also it shows me, what I do and don't like, and I think that it requires you to go on your own journey. Like you can't necessarily just
right.
look at your parents as the blueprint. It is your first example,
right.
But as you get older, you have to shape your own identity and your own ideas of what works for you and what doesn't. But of course, it shows up whether you try to or not. That's just how it works. Like you end up, like I say, marrying your father, or you might see some similarities in yourself that your mother has, or whatever. It shows up, but you ultimately it's your responsibility to shape your own values when it comes to relationships.
Very well stated. And I think that in some cases I show up where I could see my mother because, again, we would go to different places as we love fashion and dancing, and she could outdance any of us to this day. And so she is someone that embodied grace and style. She said, I work hard, she's going to play hard. And she did it all. That's where I get my zestful living from, my mother, because I saw her more than just a mother, as she and I were best friends. And many people says, are you all sisters? Way before the mother and daughter theme started coming around, mother and I would go to various places in the social realm, as it was fashion shows, Ebony Fashion Show. You and I, mother, would attend from time to time. And it was just one of those things that you turn into your mama at some point in time, that you embody who they are because they are a part of you. And so I love my beloved mother for showing me how to live, because you could see it being done, but until you actually step in those shoes, you have no idea what's going on. And I share with my dear daughter here, Osha Cerese, my dear daughter, that I'm just a girl. And so that means that I'm still trying to figure things out. I don't know everything, as many mothers may put themselves in positions where you have to know it all in your mind. But you give yourself some grace in terms of being who you are. You were a mother, you were a woman, pardon me, before you became a mother. You were a woman before you became a wife. You were a woman before you became a businesswoman. A lot of these roles you lose yourself in, and many people can lose themselves in relationships also.
And what do you have for people that have possibly lost themselves in their roles?
I have the Lady Academy workshop where we work on that area of looking at where all of this derives from, because it starts from somewhere, whether that's the healing aspect of abandonment, maybe, where many of the women in some of the workshops wrote a letter to their father as you came up with that idea, to be able to write that letter, to let it out, so that you can release yourself from holding on to things that no longer have a way of pushing you forward away from it. Address it, acknowledge it, and then atone for it, and be able to move on with your life, because you're holding on to things that you didn't know about. So it helps them with the healing. I also have the Zestful Life Social Club and Support Group. We have a private page here on Facebook that they can join. We will be planning 3 meetups to where we go to various locations for activities, because a lot of the women are not necessarily having an identity of their own. So this particular group helps us all to have real conversations and a chance for us to have the girls' night out, if you will, and to being able to ground ourselves in some of the things that we can do.
And you also have a complimentary tool that people can go to your stand store and find out if they or how they've lost their roles with?
Yes, the 5 signs that you've lost yourself in your roles and how to reclaim you is an assessment. Only takes about 2 minutes, and it's open and available for the fellas also, if you want to do that, to find out, because many fathers also lose themselves in their roles. And if the children have left to go on to college, you're looking like, who am I? Where am I? And so this is going to help you to find your way back home to yourself, a 5 minute assessment. And so, yes, thank you, Asha.
Okay. What's one boundary you've set in your relationship that changed everything?
Could you go first on that one? Because that boundary gets me every time.
Okay, let me see. What's one boundary you've set in your relationship that changed everything? Well, let me think. I think that there's a couple of different things that I've maybe done differently from relationships that I've had maybe in my 20s versus in my 30s. One boundary is not, I don't want to say not being so open, but I used to be like an open book and like share everything that I've been with. I mean, everything that I've been through pretty early on in getting to know someone, like in the getting to know each other stages. And I would be sharing everything that I had experienced as far as trauma, triggers, issues that I've, challenges, whatever. And I think that you need to establish a connection first and figure out what it is that you all are doing together, and also analyze if they are the person that even deserves to know your story, or even if they're able to, if they have the capacity to hold space for the information that you're giving, and find out if they have a great character that if you do share, they're not going to throw it up in your face or use it against you or try to use it as a bar of how they can treat you. So I think it's just utilizing your discernment. So it's a boundary of mine now that I just take my time and share when I feel comfortable, and also it's kind of like on a need to know basis. You don't need to know everything, but maybe if something occurs and I'm like, oh well, I experienced this before or whatever. I think another boundary, I always say that one of the lessons I've learned from relationships is not being responsible for another person's happiness. So although I'm going to check on you and ask how you're feeling, check in and make sure you're okay, and maybe give some suggestions and some solutions and nurture you and do the things that I can do from my end, but I know that it's an inside job, so I'm not feeling responsible for um making you happy, but it's more so like um I'll check in with you and do what I can without the pressure. So it's mainly a boundary for myself, not feeling like I have to be the person that makes you happy. I'm just here to support you on how you can make yourself happy, basically.
Wow, that's a lot of reflection and being aware of who you are and what you bring in the relationship, and having that boundary is knowing how only you could take on the responsibility of your part in the matter. And welcome all the way from Brazil. Greetings to you as well. Thank you so much for being here. And our condolences to you there.
Condolences.
Wrong.
Okay.
And
we don't have to read that.
Okay. And so some of the things that happens in relationships for me in terms of one of the boundaries, and we could probably go until after 5 and started late. What's one boundary you set in your relationship that changed everything? Just recognizing that I have to have peace when it comes to the things that I put on my plate, as I talk about the pace in which I have on my plate to go at my own pace. And so I set the boundary in terms of just not needing anyone to interfere in the areas in which I'm working in. So I say, let's not talk about anything right now because, again, I have something that I need my focus. And so I set a boundary.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That is a good one. Like anything that is affecting my peace, peace out. But one of my friends, she said something to me, I think maybe last year or earlier this year. She's like, she told herself that she would never cry over a man again, or cry, like allow a man to make her cry. And at first I was thinking that was a little bit unreasonable because, as women, we can be emotional sometimes. But I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? Yes, that is a boundary, because it's not necessarily about crying because maybe you're emotional, or maybe you're, you know, having your own emotions, or maybe something that you all are going through may make you emotional in that sense. It's like literally, if it's something that you all can't resolve, or if it's of course, if they're being mean or hateful or abusive or anything like that, of course, if they're making you cry, deal breaker. But like when you get to the point where you're crying, that usually means that there's a break in communication. Like if you're alone somewhere in the fetal position in your bed crying because there's an issue that can't be resolved, or there's something that has hurt your feelings and is beyond repair, that is a deal breaker, because why am I crying? So I think that just protecting your peace and protecting your feelings, like people play in your face and hurt your feelings, and when you see that they're not taking accountability, or they're not doing the work to try to repair whatever the issue is, and it's got you crying, basically you're having to do all the emotional work on your own. Holla.
I think that's a really good point, because I can only, me myself personally, as my brother would say, can only embody who I am as a mother, who I am as a woman. I cannot be in the shoes of someone else's roles and positions, because what I would say would be in the lens of a mother and a nurturer, and someone that's wanting to be meek and quiet, no confrontation. But if you, as someone that likes to face, confront it, it's just not comfortable for me. So I can only, another boundary, I can only be me. I can only represent how I would go about it, even if someone wants me to do it differently. I just find myself as I'm reclaiming me in terms of how you can show up, wanting to make certain that everything is handled. But the way that I can relate to everything, is it peaceful? Does it disturb how I want to move about? If I just want to not be confrontational, then I have to remind myself, well, what you're not going to do is put me in any position that I don't want to be in because it makes me uncomfortable.
Don't stress me out.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that, wait, this is inspiring, awesome. And so I just wanted to be able to let everyone know, Asha, what it is that you're working on coming up and how can they find you? What is really going on with you with all of the things that you challenged yourself to do this every day? What was all that about?
So, as you all know, I am a dream doula. Dream doula is supporting you on birthing the life, love, and business you desire. I do have clarity calls, coaching sessions available in my bio, stand.store/Asha Cerese. I have services that can help you again in life, love, and business. So, life coaching, if you need support on your journey of healing, self discovery, self love, if you need just some support with keeping yourself accountable with your goals and organizing your life that fits your human design, you can book with me. With love, intentional daters, hopeful romantics, I have the Intentional Love Collective. I have a database full of singles who I pull from if I need to, if I see some connections, some possible connections there with your preferences, desires, and your values in mind. I do curated events through the Intentional Love Collective. Right now, we're doing a collaborative series called Cowboy Cupid with myself and Latrice Monet of Original Cowboy Club. Save the date. We're working for June 30th for the next event. We just had one last month on May 16th to kick off our 1 year anniversary. And when it comes to business, I can support you with content strategies, content plans, and content creation. So you can check out all my services in my bio, stan.store/Asha Cerise. And then it's Asha Cerise on all platforms, OSHACERESE. Specifically, right now, I have challenged myself to create long form content, which is over 3 minutes long on YouTube. I'm growing my YouTube channel. The goal was set and met for me to have over 1,000 subscribers by June 1st.
Oh,
so I got that done. Yes. So the current goal that we're working on right now is daily long form content, which has been since June 1st. If you check, it is there. There's 7 videos up in the month of June so far. And today we're live over here for day number 8. And what is today? The 9th?
This is the 8th, June 8th.
Okay, so I was right.
Monday.
So we're doing that, and the goal is to get over 4,000 watch hours because I will have set that intention to be monetized by July.
Oh, awesome.
So if you want to support me, the best way to support me right now is, of course, if you want to book a service, that's how you support yourself. But the best way to support me right now is to go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and actually watch the content. I have coaching content over there as far as talking head videos about various topics. I also have vlogs. I have travel vlogs. Since we have somebody here from Brazil, I have a whole like 5 to 7 videos about my time in Brazil in 2024. It's a great vlog series.
It really is.
I have some interviews over there. I did a little, I ain't gonna say a little. I used to have a segment that I call Conversations and Connections. So there's some interviews there about relationships and dating. I have the Osha Cerise show that I started last year. There's 61 episodes under my live tab.
Wow.
Yeah, I did 61 episodes last year.
Oh my gosh, you've been busy.
And then we have reviews. I got food reviews. I have reviews on shows like Ready to Love, Love is Blind, Harlem. So there's something for everybody. I have some lifestyle vlogs over there. And then, of course, I just have self-care tips. There's something for everybody. So just go over there and just put on a playlist and watch. I also have a story time series about my ex-husband and I, how we met, and the things that came up throughout our relationship.
Yeah.
So there's lots of entertainment, education, and inspiration over there on my YouTube channel. So just go check it out and press play. You can put it on your laptop, your TV, or your phone and just let it play while you're cleaning up or while you're doing your work. And the goal is to get over 4,000 watch hours this month. So
And
let's go.
you will like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Period.
And so thank you all so much for being here. I hear that you have a question, but we will move along as the time has come to a halt. Thank you all for joining us here on Mondays as Osha, Cerese, my daughter, and I will be showcasing whatever it is that you need to learn from that day. And we will be here each and every Monday with Osha, Cerese. And so, again, thank you all for tuning in. I would want you to give yourself some grace today and have a good day on purpose. Do you have a closing word that you want to share, Osha, on Mondays now?
No, you know my tagline: if it ain't made with love, I don't want it.
See you all and have a good day on purpose.
I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you, Dad, for watching, and thank you all in the TikTok land. Thank you for the likes and loves.
And I'm over here on YouTube. Thank you all for tuning in to this live of Mama and Me. If you have not already subscribed to her channel, I'm going to be adding her as a collaborator, so it will be linked on this episode. So you can also go over and follow her. And what is your stand store?
It is stand.store slash at Sweet Tea Inspirations.
I don't think there's an at. So stand.store/Sweet Tea Inspirations, and it's sweet
letter T Inspirations plural. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and press that X for me. Talk to y'all later.
See you later.